Okay.
Oh,
Ah, this has been really long. Wait, hold on. Okay. Yeah.
so we're in the divine feminine frequency. You're
Mm,
in the background, and yeah, I'm just feeling so
happy to connect.
activated and happy to connect. We haven't been here in a little while.
Yeah, yeah. You and I kind of went on our own like solo journey, I guess.
Yeah. Did you get a haircut or something? Something
I
different.
did.
Uh-huh.
I did when I went to LA. It
Oh,
was just getting so
roots.
long and heavy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
yeah. It's interesting. I went to the same guy that I went last year
Yeah.
to, and
Hmm.
I was really afraid because I've never gotten a haircut by him, and I'm very picky with who cuts my hair.
Yeah.
And he was like on his like awakening journey. And then I just thought when I went back to LA this time, I thought, oh, I wonder if he's there again. And then I went and got the haircut. And he's like, oh my God. He's like, you don't understand. I've been thinking about you ever since I gave you that haircut because you like really helped me on my journey and like his relationship with his boyfriend. And yeah. And I was like, oh wow, that was such a sweet treat. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, sweet
Mhm.
treat to reflect back
Yeah.
to you how powerful your presence and healing and wisdom is.
Well, it was a surprise because I didn't know how much he like took it in,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So to go back and be like, oh my God, like I've been using and like your advice helped me out so much. And I was like, whoa, so he has been listening. So that was really nice. A
Mhm.
really nice reflection to have. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah,
Good
assuming that
thinking.
people aren't listening, but then they actually are. Some of them,
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways,
There's like
yeah.
there's like a little tiny spider that's crawling over the laptop right now, and I think that's a good,
Ooh.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Nice. Oh
Spider.
no. I'm running out of battery.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so tired. All right, hold
Wait,
on.
okay.
Huh?
You're tired?
No,
Do you
because
feel
I
like
went out for a walk
yeah.
and it's been like it's so hot outside. But it was a good walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, still
Yeah.
now? Wait, hold on.
Huh?
I guess it's 6:30 where you are.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like 80, close to 90 still. Yeah. Hold on, okay?
Okay. Mhm.
Okay. We're all good now. Okay. So I guess we got on because we have or wanted to share with everyone and come out with sharing, I guess, our gifts, our intuitive abilities.
Right. All about being in the journey of owning our intuitive abilities.
Yeah. It's kind of new for us, isn't it?
I mean, it's
I,
been
I
an
don't know if
ongoing
new is the
thing.
right word, but huh?
Hmm? It's been an
I don't know.
ongoing journey,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I think over the past few months, something as we just kept integrating,
Mhm.
um, I think each of us have just been having more clarity with
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
our gifts
Hmm.
and also experiencing kind of vulnerability around really owning the gifts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more challenging than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, it's like, oh, I can't wait to open this up inside of me. And
Yeah.
once you're kind of there, it's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want to expose this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, could I ask you, how it's feeling for you right
Yeah.
now. What's your relationship right now with your intuitive abilities, your gift, and if you want to share about, yeah, what this new budding thing.
Yeah. It's quite interesting because I never thought I would be able to have this kind of a mm, like intuitive ability. So um I know you and I are very like clairsentient,
Mhm.
sentient, I mean. Um
Like through feeling.
mhm,
Hmm.
and like the gut and just
Hmm.
um feeling through emotions and
Through emotion. Hmm.
and really being able to feel into other people's emotions and the environment and yeah.
Hmm.
Um, and through that, I guess, um, like things that I was not into. So for instance, um, like being aware when a spirit wants to communicate with me. I don't go out practicing that. I don't go out trying to connect with like spirits that have passed on. I don't, but I've noticed that if a spirit does want to communicate with me, and they come to me to connect, or if they want me to feel something of theirs, then yeah, I'm able to pick it up. And it happened to me like quite a few years ago. And I just kind of thought it was like luck, like, oh, like once in a blue moon, I guess I was able to experience that, but never thought I would experience more of it. And then I guess this year was when I was able to connect with spirits that I'm not even connected to. Like I don't know who they are. They're like strangers to me. It's not connected to anyone I know. Um, so I had two encounters of that this summer, which was quite interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Like having a spirit in a house that has passed on in the house and helping that sad, I guess, I don't know if you want to call it ghost or spirit, but crossover. And then when I went to go visit my mom in LA, um, my younger sister and my mom did tell me about it. Like I think there's something in the house because I would hear footsteps when she's downstairs. She would hear footsteps upstairs or um, her blinds like moving when the window is not open. And my younger sister, when she went to go visit, she was staying over there. Um, she, what was it? She turned on the light. Yeah, she turned on the light in the middle of the night to use the restroom, but when she came back, it was off and the switch was off. And she, again, she's someone that doesn't really like care for this, believe in this, and stuff like that. But for her to be like, oh my God, is there a ghost in here? You know? And so my mom told me, but I wasn't staying there. I was staying at my older sister's house and then um actually tapped into, well, I got confirmation from a good friend, Kristen, just to make sure, because I didn't sense anything because I wasn't really staying at my mom's. And my friend Kristen, who's a great reader, told me, yep, there are a couple living in the house. And she told me, you know what to do. So um, you can connect with them and help them trans over. And so, I mean, transition over. And basically, I did. I connected to them. And what surprised me was to this couple that have passed on, that were staying in my parents, they weren't there for a long time. It was maybe just a couple months. Um, And it was really easy to help them transition to the point where I'm like, that's it. That's it. Like it literally took less than 5 minutes. The one I had in another house, it took longer, but this one was literally 5 minutes. And what I began to realize was it has not like these spirits or these ghosts, um, they're just like shadows. You know how like when you and I facilitate clients
Yeah.
with their shadows, or when we facilitate ourselves with shadows and our parts, the subconscious parts,
Mhm.
it's the same thing, no different. You just tap into them and you talk to them, help them, like see them, hear them, understand them. And
Mm.
then they have this space to willing to listen to like me.
Mhm.
And it's almost like I kind of do shadow work with them.
Yeah.
It's like no different.
Mhm.
It's really interesting.
Wow.
And then because it makes sense and everything, they're just like, okay, we'll transition over and go towards the light. And then after that, done. And I've had it confirmed with my mom. I've had it confirmed um, with the owners of the other house that I was in,
Wow.
and nothing. Like the first house, I mean, I told you about it, but the first house was pretty, like, it was a strong energy where
Yes.
it was trying to get my attention by like making a really loud noise, but it only happened when the sun goes down,
Mm.
when I'm about to go to sleep.
Mm.
And the first night, it made a really loud noise downstairs. And I went down and I just thought, oh my God, like nothing fell down. And again, that clairsentient part of me, like I just felt it so strongly that there is somebody other than me in here.
Mhm.
But I don't know why I wasn't bothered by it
Mhm.
or scared by it. So I just thought, I don't think this is something I need to worry about. And I went to bed and I realized, oh, it's respectful. It didn't do anything afterwards.
Mhm.
And then the second night, I I was about to go to bed, but I need to use a restroom. Decided to turn on all the lights, went downstairs to use the restroom, came out, and I realized one of the office doors was closed, but there's like a transparent glass on the door, and the light was on in there. And I closed the door and I never opened that door. And for the light to be turned on in there, I just thought, oh, maybe I must have turned it on from the outside. But there is no light switch from the outside. You have to literally open the door to turn on the light. So that's when I really realized, oh, there's a ghost here and it wants my attention. So then I told him, okay, this is the second time you're trying to reach out to me. I said, I'm too tired to connect with you tomorrow, which should be the third day. I will make space and time when the sun goes down because it seems like that's when you want to communicate with me. And I will hear you out.
And were you
So
speaking, do you speak this out loud or do you speak this telepathically in your mind?
telepathically,
Okay. Just
telepathically. Yeah, yeah. And then the third night, um, again, it comes out at night. I don't know why, but I was getting kind of tired. It was before the sun went down, and I was doing the dishes, and I said, "Oh," I connected with that spirit. I was like, "Hey, if you could hear me and you're around, is it okay if I connect with you before the sun goes down? Because I'm kind of too tired to wait for the sun to go down
Mhm.
and to like listen to you and hear you out. And if you're okay with that, give me a sign. And if you've heard me and you're okay with that, give me a sign." And what happened was not too, like maybe like as soon as I was done, like towards the end of washing the dishes, out of the blue, I had my phone on the opposite counter. So it was behind me. I had my phone unlocked. That's all I had it on. Like it was just unlocked. But somehow the spirit went to my phone, got to my YouTube, and just played a random song in there. And it blared. I mean, like the volume was to the max. And it totally scared me because I was not expecting anything. I was just doing the dishes. There's no one in the house. And out of the blue, this music just blasts.
Yeah.
And in that moment, it freaked me out kind of. And I knew it was the spirit saying, I heard you. Here's my sign to you. And then that's when I got kind of excited, ironically. And I was like, oh my God, I know this is you.
Yeah.
But why are you doing this when I'm not aware?
Yeah.
Can you like do that again as I'm watching my phone? Like, can you please do that again? And I really just want I want to witness you doing that. But as soon as I said that, you called. Yeah. And that's when I like spoke with you, but I was like, okay, maybe it's not meant to be.
Oh
Like,
God.
I don't know. I really wanted to witness.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah. Yeah. But it didn't happen. And then at night, um, I like made a little like flower arrangement and like I made it really nice. I turned on a candle and I let him pick some frequency cards and I just sat there now like really tuning in and like I opened myself up to tap into his energy. Um and it started, so again, I received messages through feeling the spirit. And it was a really sad spirit, but very respectful. And it didn't want to leave. It wanted to stay because it was so sad what happened to him, but also there was a part of him and it was trying to tell me his current life. He wasn't aware of this subconscious. It maybe not, I don't know, but it was like he was trying to tell me like I was really sad. Like while I was alive, internally, I was just really sad. And my human perspective didn't know how much like I did not want to live, but I was just living. Um, and to the human perspective, it was a sudden shock to just die. But this shadow knew, this shadow knew. But it was also very confusing for this human and when it was alive and this part it felt like a fragment of the soul, the sad part of the soul, that just like I don't know, it just to me it felt like he was really enjoying the view. My sister had wait um I try to be very discreet, but I think I kind of well, anyways. But the house has a really nice view. And it was kind of scared to transition because it was scared for like it wasn't aware where it would be after it passed on, basically. And it was scared to transition, but it wanted to stay because it liked where it was staying, basically. But it was going around in the house just kind of emanating this sad energy because it was also sharing the space. And then I I don't know if I want to share this because it's kind of basically I became aware of why this spirit was a match and its energy became stronger to the point where it was able to turn on and off the light, basically touch physical things, because it was in alignment.
In
And
alignment with what?
sadness. So it's almost um, it felt um, like that was food for this part. that makes sense. Like for this spirit, it was like it became stronger as it was feeling more sadness through like other people.
Mhm.
That makes sense. So for instance, like if you and I are sad and there's this ghost that has this, then and if we are constantly sad, it's kind of like feeding that because
Oh,
it's in
I
alignment
see.
with this. And it just kind of grows. The energy just kind of grows.
Mm. So do
Does
you
that
feel
make
like
sense?
there was sadness in you that was a match to his sadness that allowed this bridge to happen between you?
Um, I mean, yeah, because I mean, I have sadness within me too. I think I was able to feel him because I became more sensitive after doing a lot of integration and that clearing my like sensibility and heightening my sensibility. So I think that's why I was able to recognize what it was when I felt it.
Mm.
I think anyone would have been able to recognize it too, you know? Um, but like, like it's like, okay, so here's a good example. Like when there is a haunted house, let's say, and everyone believes in this haunted house. So whoever visits, they already go in with this belief that this house is haunted.
Mhm.
So then it attracts all these ghosts,
Mhm.
you know, to that like, so they become a match, right? Because of the vibration. So it's like the more you feed into that belief that this is a haunted house, like those spirits just become stronger and stronger. Does that make sense? And they're able to tap into
Right.
physical stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of like what happened with this
Yeah.
energy, this
Yeah.
ghost. Um,
How was
but
it for
base,
you? Sorry.
no, no, go
I
ahead.
want to know about like what did it feel like for you to um tap into this ability to
I
connect with
had a
the,
lot of
yeah,
doubts,
yeah.
and um, I've had experiences like this before, but every time it happens, I have this part of me that's like, no, you don't have that ability. No, you don't have that ability. So I always go to my friend Kristen to always get confirmation. And she's such a good reader. And I always ask her, like, to get confirmed, like, I, I'm pretty sure there's a ghost in here. Is that true? And she's like, yes, yes. And like,
Yeah.
so that's how I'm able to like trust myself.
Mhm.
I'm still working on it. Like
Yeah.
every time I feel, I'm like,
Oh, we
is this
should link
real?
Kristen's link because she's so amazing with
She
her
is. Yeah.
intuitive
Yeah.
abilities. And
Uh-huh.
yeah,
And
she's
she
read for me as
confirmed for
well.
me
Very
that,
amazing. Yeah.
uh-huh,
Um,
this ghost had passed on in the
yeah.
house. And for me, I thought, I totally believe Kristen, but I was like, oh, I wonder how this happened because that house itself is newly built. No one has ever lived there. So for someone to have died, is like no one died here because no one owned this house other than the people I know that lives here currently. So, um, and he told me, the spirit told me that before the house got bought out, he was here. And, but then he just died. That's all I picked up on.
Mhm.
So I said, okay, I didn't make it a big deal, but basically, I helped him understand that like, you've become more sad because no one can really feel you. No one really notices you. And if
Oh,
I don't live here either. So like once I leave, you're going to become really alone again. So while I'm here, I'm going to hear you out. And he told me what he said. And I helped him understand like, you can go back, go towards the light. And once you go towards the light, like you can you can choose to like incarnate again into the life that you want, you know, wherever you want. And like I helped him to understand that.
yeah.
And there was such a, again, he made me feel like, oh, so like, oh my gosh, I didn't see it that way. Like, I like that perspective. And it was basically like, thank you. I don't feel so scared transitioning into the light anymore.
That's what he was feeling after
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
interaction with you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Uh-huh. And I don't know why. I'm still kind of nervous to share details like the feeling states, but basically he um said like, I'm ready to leave now. And I said, great. So I just kind of stayed there. And more than having a clairvoyance experience for me to see him, I felt his energy slowly fade out. And then when it was done, it was so at peace. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but even the room and the house just felt like, oh, it's back to like, I don't know, like I just felt the shift. And ever since then, never heard any noise, never heard any messing around or nothing. And then afterwards, when the owners came, um, basically I told them what happened, and they said, "Oh my gosh!" Like, um, I asked if someone did die, and they said, "Well, the realtor told us that, yeah, a cabinet worker uh, died on the job, but they never said in the house." So I know it's like legally you're supposed to tell the owner someone has died, but I
Yeah.
realized the realtor wanted to sell the house, so didn't exactly say in the house, but they
Yeah.
just said someone died. Yeah. So they never thought anything of it. But she did agree with me, saying, yeah, it happens every night when the sun goes down, when everything is quiet. I've heard it too. And for me, it was such a good confirmation because I'm like, oh, it's not just me.
Yeah.
Like I was so relieved and happy to hear like you've experienced it too. And then she also went on to say when I did the dishes one time, she saw a ghost, like an image, like just kind of pass by right behind her because there's a window in front of the sink. And she totally thought it was her imagination and just brushed it off. And I said, no, 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 that was it. And so basically, this man had just died out of the blue while working on the cabinets in the house, while building them. Yeah. So it was a very good awareness. And then,
Do you feel like this experience helped you trust your intuitive abilities more?
yeah, because this is like my fifth encounter of connecting with spirits. Like I've had my sister's friend at the time who, yeah, um, her husband died of breast cancer, and I never met her husband before. Just heard that he had recently passed away. And on my way to work, I felt such a strong spirit again. I was totally feeling something that was not me.
Mhm.
And basically, uh, that that spirit was so strong. It was literally talking to me saying, "This is um, basically my sister's friend's husband, whom I've only met for like 10 minutes in my life. And he just made me like feel him. And as I was feeling, I couldn't dry. I just can't cry. And I was like, you can't do this to me. I'm on my way to work." And I said, how do I know you're real? And he goes, and then he just made me feel him more. And as he was making me feel him, he was telling me what he wanted me to say to his wife. Can you please like give this message to my wife? Can you please? And I said, no, she's gonna think I'm crazy. Like, I don't even talk to her.
Yeah.
I don't really, and like I don't even know you. And like, what if your wife thinks like I'm crazy? Like, I'm so not gonna, I was just fighting this.
Yeah. Yeah.
and he wouldn't let me drive further because I couldn't stop crying. I was crying so much I couldn't really see the road. So I literally had to pull over.
Wow.
Yeah. The only way I told him I'll make a deal with him is I'm not going to go out of my way to give this message to your wife. You're going to have to make this happen. Like where I somehow
Mhm.
like am in the same room as your wife.
Mhm. Mhm.
And if that occurs, then okay, I'll take that as a strong sign and I'll tell her.
Yeah.
But unless it's not like that, I'm not going to go out of my way to reach out to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
A week goes by and it happens. It happens. And so basically, my sister called me saying she's having like help, she's needing help with her children. She doesn't know what to do. Like, would you like to talk to her? And I was like, oh, well, this is so random. So I said, sure. And I said, if she wants and she wants to connect with me, she can call me. I told my sister. And she had no idea I had this connection with her husband. And so, yeah, the wife called me and she invited me over to her house. And
Wow.
that's when I told her.
Wow.
And she didn't believe any of this. And I said, your husband told me he's here and you can connect with him. Ask him to give you signs and he'll give you the exact like signs that you are wanting from him and he'll show you to prove to you that he is here and communicating with you. And she doesn't believe really in stuff like this. And I was so nervous, so nervous. But again, she has like built this bond with her husband.
Mhm.
And I gave her the message and she took it in so well. And she's like, yep, that's my husband. Yep, that's my husband. And I was like,
Wow.
whoa, I don't know your husband.
Yeah.
And I'm just telling her, yeah, I've had, yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And Kristen, I became friends with her because her dad passed away.
Yeah.
Her dad came to me and said, you guys would be really good friends, like really strong. And I was like, I don't know her.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's how we became friends because of her.
So you met
Yeah.
her because he told you to, right, go to Liberate Emporium and get a reading?
No, I was at Liberate Emporium to go get other things. Like
Yeah.
I wanted to go get a specific crystal and Palo Santo.
Yeah.
And when I went in there, I just felt this strong feeling.
Oh,
And she was at the cashier of like, go get a reading from her. I'm like, no. I thought it was just in my head. And I said, no. And they said, get a reading from her. It was so strong. I couldn't deny it.
yeah.
So I said, okay, I'll just ask. Because I don't even know if she was a reader or not, if she was just a cashier. And then so I'd go up to her and then ask her. And she's like, oh, yeah, I do read, but today's not my day. I'm just working the cashier.
Mhm.
But some other worker, she's like, oh my God, Kristen, I know it's not your working day, but if you want a reading, like, yeah, I'll watch the cashier. And I was like, oh. But then she's like, but Kristen told me, like, but I don't have my cards. It's actually locked in the room. And
Yeah.
I don't have the keys for it. The owner does. And it was just all of this. And I just thought, see, it's not meant to be. And then when I told myself that, this energy, I believe it was her dad, was like, no, just wait. It's going to happen. Just wait. And I said, how long am I supposed to wait? Like, I'm already done finding my stuff.
Mhm.
And so they're like, just wait. It's everything's going to happen the way it's going to happen.
Mhm. And
So with
are
spring
these
alignment,
messages coming through just feeling again, or are you hearing his voice?
it's, it was feeling and just knowing. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
I was, but in the feeling, I was decoding the feeling. I don't know how to, it sounds so crazy, but it's, I feel it and then I'm able to decode the message through the feeling state.
Mhm.
And then I just know. But it sounds so crazy to admit that I just know. So
Mhm.
I actually fight myself with it.
Mm.
Yeah. And then again, it just happens so smoothly where the owner out of the blue just says, oh, I'm coming right now. And I'm like, and then she goes, oh my God, like we didn't know where the owner is, but she's coming right now. So yes, I'm able to read for you. And I was like, okay, I guess it's meant to be. So I did get a reading from her, and it was such a beautiful reading. And immediately when she was giving me the reading, I just thought, oh, I really like you. Like, I like the way you read. So I said, okay, I think, because I've been wanting to find someone that aligned with me, that felt good to me. And then on my drive home, that's when the dad came and said, really strongly, like, you and Kristen would be really good friends.
Wow. Oh, I think your screen froze. Okay. Okay, continuing on.
Yeah. So basically, I just randomly texted her. I didn't know Kristen. I said, by any chance, like, I don't know why, it sounds crazy, but I just needed to know I'm not crazy. But I think your dad spoke with me and this is what he said. I said, can you just check in and make sure? And she's like, yeah, it was my dad. And yeah, all that confirmation, basically. Yeah. That's how
Wow.
our friendship started. Yeah.
So amazing. Like the spirit
Yeah.
world orchestrating these new friendship
Yeah.
relationships, and
Mm-hmm.
I just know how much healing both
And
of
that,
you do
yeah,
together. Yeah.
happened a long time ago. But again, I'm still in that process of trying to trust myself and build that confidence. Like,
That what
yeah.
you're hearing and feeling is real and not
Mm-hmm.
disregarding that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. So I wouldn't say I'm quite there in terms of, yes. And this is not something I would do full time, just, oh, this is what I'm aware of.
Mhm.
And I use my abilities through facilitating.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
also seems like they kind of choose you, it sounds like, to make contact with you.
Yeah.
It's like not
Exactly.
within your control. I mean,
Yeah.
you're just
I
receiving
could say
input.
no. Yeah.
Yeah, you could say no, but
Yeah. Mhm.
it seems like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And in clients too, and facilitating clients, I've had several. Oh, okay. So like when I also facilitate clients, sometimes their deceased like relative or a family member comes in and basically tells me and to help, like basically helps me connect the dots to helping my clients as well, but also came through me to also give them messages in their session. And that happened to me a few times. But you're right. I don't search, I don't seek it out. If they come to me, then they just come to me, and it's my choice to accept it or not. Yeah.
Mhm.
But so far, in all of my occurrences, they've been very respectful, peaceful, kind. It hasn't been any like, yeah, like the ones that you would want to say no to. I haven't encountered that yet. Yeah.
Wow. And it sounds
Yeah.
like the way that you've been interacting with them has been really in a peaceful, kind, understanding way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you're
Yeah.
bringing that
Yeah.
energy into that interaction. And
Yeah.
like, it's so wild to me. It's you're bringing that energy in the interaction. It's helping them to move on to their next
Mhm.
evolved state and helping them to
Yeah.
move beyond wherever they're stuck in. Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is so
And like,
similarly to what you do with your embodied clients. So it's like you
yeah.
have like spirit
Yeah.
clients and embodied clients,
Yeah.
and
They're
sometimes
all the
you work
same.
together. Yeah, but it's kind of you're
Yeah.
doing the same process with them.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really fascinating.
It's really interesting. Yeah, like I've never shared this out loud. Like, um, this is something that I don't really talk about or share and stuff like that, but I'm beginning to more and more. Like, I want to feel safe with it.
Yeah.
and not feel weirded out to share it with people. Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is a big step in visibility and in sharing
Hmm.
gift that you just have, just kind
Yeah.
of innate to you. And
Yeah.
I know we talked before personally about how, this is something that is a gift that has been in your family, but right, like it's kind of
Um,
able to talk to or be connected to the
yeah.
spirit realm like this, having the veil being thin. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yes, but it's something that was definitely not like suppressed a lot, but you're in this process of kind of really honoring it and accepting it
Mm-hmm.
and sharing.
Mm-hmm. Because I had nobody around me that was like willing to support me in this or to understand what I was like experiencing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a tough journey in the beginning. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
But now my mom fully understands uh, and realizes like this is something she totally suppressed within her too because of
Because of fear.
yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm. And my younger sister, oh, like I've gotten so many messages where she totally has it more powerful than me. But the only reason why she doesn't recognize it is because that part of her is also suppressed to like fully see her capabilities. Yeah.
Wow. So big
But
congrats on,
integration,
right. Like you, right. So linking this now to how you were able to honor and own this gift.
yeah, yeah. And I realized I only got to this space through integration. The more you integrate, the more your intuitive ability
Mhm,
becomes sharpened
mhm,
and you're able to see also like um, more clearly
mhm.
your heightens your intuitive abilities
Yeah.
and yeah and you're able and it, all of this intuition stuff it's only because you're able to see it more objectively. It's not yeah it's like just a more broad and objective perspective. I feel like nothing special. It's really nothing special. Anyone can do it. Yeah.
So for people who are not familiar or don't have a practice of integration, can you describe, yeah, how do you describe integration and how it connects with your with intuition?
With so like
What does integration mean to you?
yeah so the more and more you integrate, the more you're able to clear space to see like objective truth
Mhm,
is totally what it is because you're facing your illusion, you're facing your fear. And once you're able to clear that out, you're able to see more objectively and it just expands.
mhm.
And I feel like that's all what it is. And like, um,
So in a way, like every time you integrate, so you bring in a disowned aspect of yourself or a feeling or an emotion, every time
yes.
you
So,
do this bridging process of what you do with
mhm,
these entities too, like every time you bridge to reclaim parts of yourself that you had shamed or put away, and you bring
mhm,
them back and let them feel seen and heard and understood, this is
mhm.
what integration is. You're literally
Yeah. And you're
making
able to
more
catch
whole
it.
of yourself.
Uh-huh.
Hmm. Becoming
Because
more
you're
whole,
connected to, yeah.
right? And you're also seeing that you are, every part of you belongs, and there's like a universe within, and the more you expand by including disowned parts, you're
Mhm,
literally becoming more expansive.
mhm. Because you're owning your fragments and your fragments now become a part of you.
Mhm.
So all of them are in tune with themselves, all of us. And as all of us are in tune on board with each other and live life together, like, as one unit, basically, then like you just have not just the neutral Sylvia, but you have all of your fragments now, all like being there on board with you, that are sensing it through this fragment and this fragment and this fragment and this fragment. And then everyone's on board helping each other out, where now my neutral self is able to connect the dots to all of their inputs and see more of an objective truth. Because I'm
You're
not
because
disowning
you're
them as no.
right.
And yeah.
Objective truth is including all those like individual fragmented subjective truths.
Yeah.
Yeah. And therefore forming a more holistic perspective that includes all.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
And I feel
And
like it's
it
so
before,
infinite, right? It's so infinite.
yeah,
There's so
yeah.
many, and you keep finding more and more, and you start to integrate even like the
Yeah,
spirit
the
realm
more
is
you
not disconnected from you. You know, there is this less of a separation between all parts,
yeah,
like within and without, like all beings in your life, physical and non-physical.
yeah. And the more you evolve, like the more I just feel like you can tap into that the like to receive messages, to be more intuitive, just all of that more clearly, just become a clear vessel. I feel like, yeah. I'm assuming like even with you, like I'm pretty sure you awakened a lot too, right? Like integrating so much to feel and know your talents, your abilities, and all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
that. Yeah, integration has made me see how just see myself more in everything, and therefore
yeah,
it creates more of a connection and empathy. Yeah, when i'm
yeah,
when I'm opening more to, the more I open to include these hidden aspects of myself, the more I see the hidden in someone and maybe what their struggles are, and I'm like, I see myself in that, and therefore it just creates, yeah, empathy and
yeah,
understanding. And so then I feel like that's a good space for there to shift. That's the space where you can transform together or help someone
yeah,
to give that space for transformation, to know, okay, you're stuck in here and I understand that. And this is what's also possible because
yeah,
you're being
yeah.
seen. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. And it like,
So
don't you build your confidence in owning like your abilities?
yeah, it's just, it all comes to like knowing oneself more clearly and knowing
Yeah,
oneself in all the plurality of self.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And so it just creates um like less shame, because I think
mm,
shame is a
I
big like deterrent
oh
to
yeah,
like um seeing the like ultimate universal truth of things, of like the connection of things.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I
less,
agree.
it like it decreases shame and allows you to feel more connected with everything and everyone, seeing yourself in everyone and everything,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
knowing yourself, and
Yeah,
also then kind of zoomed out, like seeing my own unique fragment more clearly. Like, what is my
yeah,
uniqueness? Like, seeing my gift, being able to honor
yeah.
my gifts. Yeah.
And I cannot wait to talk about like what you have to share with your beautiful voice.
Mm.
Um, And I'm thinking I want to take just one episode of just focusing on that with you.
Mm.
Like asking so many questions on how you get there because you are an amazing healer with that. And I can't wait to um like discuss this with you and for you to share
Yeah.
with other people your
Yeah.
gifts through
Mm.
integration. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
you're able to
Be continued.
mhm. um I don't know if you want to cut this kind of like end this now and then restart it, just have your episode
Yeah.
on just this. Because I don't want to blend it
Yeah.
because
I
I
feel
want
like
it to
it's a
be
lot of
just focused on you.
things.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like just focused on me and then have two
Yeah.
separate ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Mhm.
there's a lot to discuss with what you're able to do. It's like a whole like episode of that. Yeah. So um
Yeah.
yeah.
It'll be the next part. But just
Yeah.
to, yeah, wrap up what
Yeah.
is being
I don't
focused
know.
on here.
Yeah. You could cut this part out or not, but yeah,
Mhm.
I think um I'm excited
Mm.
uh for you to share yours because it's such a powerful gift. Yeah. That's different. Like utilize it in different ways, but you have the capacity to really like connect, have every like how do I say it? Like um you can affect the whole crowd with your voice. Yeah. Yeah. So excited for you to share that.
Yeah.
I'm also excited to now really feel safe with my abilities
Mhm.
and not feel shy from it. Um,
Yeah.
and I think this is the more I share, I just feel like I'm just gonna find solutions and ways to make me feel safer with what I know about me and my capabilities. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm actually excited too for myself.
Yeah, I'm
So
excited for you too. And
yeah.
it's just, I think sometimes when we're in this fog about our own, about the gifts that are just so innate to ourselves, and you don't really even, it's the thing of like not being able to see yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you minimize it,
Yeah.
you know, or you like don't even really know how to give yourself credit for this amazing gift that, you know, I don't, that's
Yeah.
never happened to me. Like that's not, you know, that channel with connecting with spirits is not,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm just amazed when I hear about these different ways we're born with these
Yeah.
abilities. And I feel like everyone has these
Yeah.
gifts. Yeah. And
And
it's so
it's beautiful.
amazing to be able to like be like, oh,
Yeah.
not everyone can do this and it's so
Oh,
unique to me. And to really
yeah.
like celebrate that, you know?
Yeah. Can
Mhm.
I share one thing that I did notice though through being aware and becoming more aware of like intuitive abilities
Mhm.
is that I've noticed that um and I think I'm gonna bring up Kristen a little bit here because I've noticed when I first saw a psychic reader like a long time ago, she said some powerful things to me and I never went back to her. I like after 10 or more years later, I thought, oh, I remember her. I wonder if things would be different, or I wonder how her readings would be. So 10 years later, I went back to her to get a reading from her, and it was completely different to the point where I'm like, oh, how did I think she was a powerful reader back then? Because I so don't see that now. Like, I don't ever want to go back to her and get a reading again. And what I noticed was um, even a reader, we're all humans, right? But like, if we don't integrate And if we don't evolve and expand and like expand our perspective and like do the integrational work, even as a reader, like you could totally tell the difference. Like the message she's giving to you is coming from her resistance. And or um um but if she doesn't have resistance in it, then you could tell that the message is clear when she's giving it to you, he or she. But like if that person doesn't do the integration on themselves and their resistance grows stronger, that when they give you the reading, it's filtered through their resistance, and it's I don't know, it really changes the reading. I don't know how to explain it, but Kristen, when she got on board with integration and I started facilitating her, and I noticed also the shift of like, because she's evolving and she's just clearing herself to be a more clear vessel, that now when she reads, it's so different. I honestly don't know how to describe it, but it's this feeling state and this knowingness that I totally know that when a reader continues to integrate for themselves, they just become a clear, better channel to give somebody like a more accurate reading.
Yeah.
But I also noticed, I haven't fully figured this out, but there is this famous uh, medium named Tyler Henry. He does a lot of celebrities, and he's really good. But I've also noticed that, like, I don't think he does much integration, like on himself with his personal things. That for him, even though he's such a clear channel, he like the stuff that he hasn't resolved within himself, like it gives him a lot of pain. So he goes through like physical pain, physical ailments, and all of that. And like if he I this was, I don't know, I may be totally wrong, but this is just a feeling I get, like if he did the integration on himself, he would be a like basically it wouldn't take such a toll on his body when he does give readings to other people.
Yeah.
And he mentions a lot how it takes up a lot of energy. I know that because I've experienced that every time I channel too. Like it takes a lot of energy out of you, and you have to spend a lot of time doing self-care. But I noticed that the integration would help him even more, where he wouldn't fall into all of those deep ailments. And I wish somehow he would become aware of that, because he's such a good like channel. So I've been
So,
noticing this,
yeah.
and I
So
what
what
you
I'm
said.
hearing is that you can have these innate gifts and abilities, but it's also up to you, like
You got
to
to work on yourself
work on
too.
yourself and work on your traumas and work on your dissociation or fragmentation to
Mm-hmm,
become more and more like whole,
mm-hmm,
to
mm-hmm.
like reconnect the splintered off parts. And the more you do that, the more powerful and the more clear
Yeah,
and
where
and
it
less like,
protects you.
and it also doesn't put such a film or lens over who you're reading for,
Mm-hmm,
coming from your own unresolved stuff that you're giving it,
mm-hmm,
messages from
mm-hmm.
something that,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So like for instance, if a reader was traumatized a long time ago with, I don't know, like um, with Red Sox, right? Somehow totally traumatized with Red Sox. But let's say that person, that reader is giving messages to a client that is about Red Sox. Then it's almost like that person can't even pick up on Red Sox. It like can't even get the message to relay to that person. It's blocked
Oh,
because of their trauma. Does that make sense? Like that's
yeah.
how it works. But
Okay.
if you were to clear it and stuff like that,
Mhm.
then would be able to relay whatever that needed to be relayed to.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm, mhm.
yeah.
Wow.
So yeah. it's really fascinating to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh
we'll
my
see.
God. So basically, like, yay, integration,
Uh-huh.
shadow integration.
Totally. Yeah. It's so powerful. It's amazing. And I just love it. Yeah. Yeah. It just helps out in so many ways.
Mhm.
So many ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like anything and everything can be an opportunity to integrate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. With
Yeah.
everything.
Everything. And I love that, like, we just have that relationship where we just get so excited.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
And I just love how you're such a fine comb. You like really comb through things and you sometimes
Oh,
your eyes
yeah. I
might have a
love the
little trigger and
details.
I'm like, oh, but I think, and you're like, no, no, I think there's something there.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh yeah. And then we always
Yeah.
like, find something really important through that
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah. Yeah. I do like to get to the details. Yeah.
So detailed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. This is amazing.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for
Yeah.
sharing your
So
intuitive bodies and
welcome.
being willing to be seen in it and just coming further out of the closet and
Yeah.
healing the ancestral lineage of shaming this feminine gift.
Hmm. Hmm.
And by feminine, I don't mean in the gendered sense, but it's like the feminine of like the deep felt emotional wisdom
Yeah.
that is so like part of your like nature.
Yeah. And I think it's such a beautiful experience. Like, I never felt this way about myself in this area in the past.
Hmm.
Totally
Hmm.
like closed off,
Yeah.
suppressed, didn't want it.
Hmm.
But now I see like the love, the peace, yeah, the beauty in like my gifts. Yeah. And not ashamed of it. Yeah. So yay. Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Pretty. Well, thank
Well,
you
I think
again
this, yeah, where it ends for today.
for tuning in.